Deep in the green heart of the forest, where tall oaks touched the sky, and sunlight came through in thin golden lines, there lived many animals. They were not just neighbors. They were a community. The badger dug tunnels and shared roots with others. The squirrel stored nuts and gave some away before winter. The fox was clever but fair. The blue jay sang warnings when danger came near. The owl watched at night so others could sleep. For years, this forest was peaceful. Not perfect, but peaceful. Then one morning, a wolf arrived. He walked out from the dark part of the forest, the part no one went to. He was large and gray, with quiet eyes and slow steps. He did not growl. He did not chase anyone. He simply sat near the old stone at the edge of the clearing and looked at the trees. But the moment they saw him, everything changed. The badger stood up and shouted, "A wolf! A wolf is here!" The squirrel dropped her acorns and screamed, "We are not safe." The fox circled far away and said quietly, "Look at his size, look at his teeth. We all know what wolves do." The blue jay flew above him, screaming, warning every animal from every corner of the forest. The owl opened his wide eyes and said nothing. But he watched. He always watched. The wolf sat still. He did not move. He did not speak. He did not defend himself. And that silence, that calm, quiet silence, made everyone more afraid. "He is planning something," the fox whispered. "Wolves always pretend to be calm before they attack," the badger said. "My grandmother told me never to trust a wolf," the squirrel added. "Not even a quiet one. Especially a quiet one." Day after day, the wolf stayed near the stone. He drank from the far end of the stream. He slept under a broken tree no animal used. He never came close. He never asked for anything. But the animals had already decided what he was. They stopped using the path near his stone. They moved their food stores far away. The mothers told their children, "Do not go near the gray one." One cold evening, the owl flew close, closer than any other animal had dared. "Why are you here?" the owl asked. The wolf lifted his head slowly. "I was part of a pack once," he said, "but my pack was cruel. They hunted not because they were hungry, but because they enjoyed fear. I did not want that life, so I left." The owl said nothing. "I walked for many days," the wolf continued. "I was looking for a quiet forest. I thought, if I stay far from everyone, bother no one, take nothing that is not mine, maybe I can just live." The owl flew back without a word, and he told no one. The next morning, the animals came together. "He asked to go," the badger said. "Agreed," said the fox. "Agreed," said the squirrel. "Agreed," said the blue jay. They went to the stone, all of them, loud and close and united. "Leave this forest," the badger said. "You do not belong here." The wolf looked at them, not with anger, not with hurt, just with those same quiet eyes. "I have taken nothing from you," he said. "Not yet," the fox answered. The wolf stood up slowly. He turned, and he walked back into the dark part of the forest, until he disappeared. The animals looked at each other. "Good," said the blue jay. "Now we are safe." That winter was the worst the forest had ever seen. Snow came heavy and early. The stream froze. Food became scarce. And from the dark side of the forest came something no one expected. A pack of wild dogs, 7 of them. Hungry, fast, and angry. They came at night. The blue jay screamed, but was too small to stop them. A fox ran, but was too slow. The badger fought, but was alone. A squirrel hid shaking. The owl watched from above, helpless. By morning, half the food stores were gone. 2 animals were badly hurt. The clearing felt broken. And then, from the dark trees, a sound. A deep, powerful howl that shook the frozen branches. The wolf stepped out of the shadows. He stood at the edge of the clearing and did not run at the dogs. He did not attack. He simply stood there, gray and steady, and held their gaze without blinking. The wild dogs stopped. They turned. They looked at him. Another howl, low and certain. And the wild dogs, one by one, turned around and left. They left because they understood something the forest animals had not. A wolf who walks away from his own cruel pack, who survives alone in the cold, who needs nothing from anyone. That wolf is not weak. That is the most dangerous thing in any forest. When the wolf turned to walk back, the squirrel called out. "Wait," she said quietly. He stopped. "Why did you help us?" The badger asked. "We sent you away." The wolf looked back over his shoulder. "Because this is my forest too," he said. "Even if none of you believe that." Then he walked back into the dark trees. The clearing was silent. The owl landed on the low branch and spoke slowly. "He told me," the owl said, "the first night. He told me who he was, why he came, what he ran from. I said nothing. Because I thought you would not listen. Because it was easier to stay quiet." No one was angry at the owl. Because every single one of them understood. They would have done the same. The squirrel sat down on the cold ground. "We were so sure," she said softly. "We were so sure he was the danger. We looked at him," the fox said, "and we saw a wolf. We never looked again." And that was the truth of it. They had not reacted to what the wolf did. They had reacted to what they believed wolves were. Before one word, before one action, before one chance. The real danger came from somewhere they never suspected, because they were too busy watching the wrong one. Now bring this out of the forest, because this happens every single day in our lives. Think about the new person at work, the quiet one who keeps to himself. You noticed how he dressed. You noticed he did not laugh at the group's jokes. Someone said he seemed cold. Someone else said he seemed strange. And before he ever spoke to you directly, you had already decided. You moved your chair a little further. You stopped including him in small conversations. You were careful. And one day that same person, the one you quietly pushed out, was the only one who noticed when you were struggling. The only one who said something true when everyone else said what was comfortable. You did not know that, because you had already decided. Or think about someone who came into your life with a past. Maybe they made mistakes. Maybe someone told you their story before they could tell it themselves. And that story became the only thing you saw. Every time they tried to show you something different, your mind went back to what you already knew. You called it wisdom. You called it protecting yourself. But sometimes the person we judge most harshly is the one who has already paid the highest price, and all they were looking for was one place to start again. Here is what the forest teaches us. The loudest voice in the room is not always the most informed. The badger screamed first. The badger knew nothing. Silence can be its own kind of harm. The owl had the truth. The owl said nothing. And the forest suffered for it. And the most important one, the thing that is hardest to hear, you will never know what you lost by deciding too early. The wolf never came back. Not because he could not survive without them. He proved he could. He came back because somewhere in him, he still believed this place could be home. But after that morning, after all of them standing at his stone with their decision already made, there was nothing left to come back to. How many people in your life walked away like that wolf? Not angry, not crying, just quiet, just done. Because they tried to show you who they really were, and you had already decided, and they were tired of standing at the stone while everyone gathered against them. They did not leave because they were dangerous. They left because you never gave them a reason to stay. So here is the one question to carry with you today. Is there someone in your life you have already judged and never actually listened to? Not heard, listened. Because it is not too late to walk up to the stone and ask, "Why are you here? Tell me your story. I am ready to hear it now." That one question asked honestly can change everything.